All right, please introduce yourself, state your name and DOC number for the record.
Clifford Owens, 334527.
Mr. Owens, my name is Brendan Kelsey. Along with me is Ms. Wise. Mr. Roche will be your panel. We'll have a parole interview, ask you some questions. You can respond at the end. You can make a statement. We'll take a vote. You understand the process?
Sir.
Do you understand the process? Okay. And then we have John Sponsel, who will speak at the appropriate time. Obviously, Mr. Robert Lancaster, Patrick Riley, Andrew Hunley, Betra Oliver McCarthy, Chiquita Owens, and we have Adrienne Hutchinson here. If you'd like to go ahead and introduce Patrick Riley, please.
Yes, Mr. Kelsey, Robert Lancaster with the LSU Parole and Reentry Clinic here today representing Mr. Owens. With me is Patrick Riley. He's a second-year student in the law clinic. He's not certified under Louisiana Supreme Court Rule 20, but he has helped Mr. Owens prepare for today's hearing, helped prepare the packet that was submitted to the committee, and is prepared to give a statement of support at the conclusion of the hearing if the committee deems it appropriate.
Great, thank you. Clifford Owens, DOC number 334527. You're a second-class offender. Parole eligibility date 8/1/2021. Good time 2/14/2056. Full term 2/8/2057. A 60-year sentence. Armed robbery, attempted second-degree murder. Does that sound correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. Would you answer, Ms. Wise?
Good morning, Mr. Owens.
Good morning, ma'am.
How's it going?
Going all right.
Good, good. This is your second hearing.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I saw on the record where you appeared on 125-22. You got 2 votes to deny. I'm sure you remember Mr. Kelsey, and 1 vote to grant last time. All right. What have you been doing since? Wait, first of all, how much education do you have?
Well, ma'am, I stopped in the 9th grade.
Yes. Okay. Any other education since then?
I've been in school, ma'am. I enrolled in school. I'm in school, currently in school right now.
Oh, okay. Okay. How's it going?
It's going all right.
Do you have any idea when they're gonna send you for testing?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I mean, I think I should be coming up for TASE testing coming up pretty soon.
Okay, okay. How old are you today?
48, ma'am.
And how long you been in jail on this sentence, on this charge?
47 years, ma'am. 46 years, ma'am.
You can't be 48 and been in jail 46 years.
No, my bad. 26, ma'am. 26, my bad.
Okay. You've been in jail for 26 years since
Yes, ma'am.
well, a little bit before 12/16 of 1999. Now, if I look at the records, it looked like you were on supervision. You got released in 1997, and then you were sentenced on this charge in 1999. Before that, your supervision, you were sentenced in 94, and you were sentenced 1/5/94 and got revoked 3/1 of 95. So what's going to be different this time if you're allowed to be released with your supervision? What's going to be different this time?
Well, ma'am, I have done time in Lake Providence. I hadn't seen what I've seen now in Angola and went through what I went through. I learned a lot since I've been in prison. I learned how to make poor choices, do the right thing. I got married. I'm gonna work for what I want. I ain't gonna do nothing stupid. Be a man, do the things I have to do once I get out.
I like that. I like what I'm hearing. So in your record, tell me about your release plan, because I saw somewhere, just tell me about your release plan.
I plan on going to the Parole Project, and they're gonna help me find a job once I get there. My residence go to the Parole Project.
So your wife is in Louisiana now?
No, she's in California. She's in California.
And I read somewhere that she was gonna be moving to Louisiana. That's why I was asking.
Yes, ma'am. She's gonna come down here once I get released. Yeah, she's gonna come to Louisiana. She's gonna come down.
Okay, that's the plan. Okay. I want you to know, for the record, all law enforcement is opposed to your early release. There's nothing you can do about that, but we get their opinions about early release, and they're now in agreement. And you do have some victim opposition to your early release because your victim is still physically impacted, wheelchair bound because of your offense. And I just wanted to state that for the record. There's nothing you can do about that, but I just want to state it for the record. Let's talk about your write-ups for a minute. You've had 10 fights since you've been incarcerated in these 26 years. And I think your last fight, I think was a factor in why you were denied last time. So tell me, what have you done differently to stay out of fights that you weren't doing before?
Well, I took anger management over again, and I learned not to let my emotions cause me to react. I learned to think before I react, move myself around the situation.
So you telling me that actually works, huh? If you just
Yes,
remove this
ma'am.
situation, you can avoid fights.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, don't be telling
Don't
us this. We be expecting that from other guys.
Don't forget about the thinking process.
Huh? Say what now?
Could you say again? I can't hear you, ma'am.
I couldn't hear you either. What you were saying about fighting out, whatever you saying?
Well, when I see a situation, I think I move myself around it. I mean, I don't respond to it. I mean, I use my anger management, cage my rage.
Right. Well, you need to do a commercial for us. You need to do a commercial for that program. And you do have a good institutional record. We don't see that very often. All the staff spoke well of you, and that's important to me. I look at the institutional record. And it says you work in the incinerator. Is that correct? What do you do there?
That's I collect trash, process. I'm on the garbage truck. I'm gonna hop on back of the garbage truck. I ride around the farm picking up trash.
Okay. Okay. Now let's talk about your crime for a minute. Do you remember what was the motivation for that crime? Do you remember?
Ma'am, I retrieved a firearm, and me and my co-defendants, I knocked on Mr. Sponsor's door. I gained full control of the house once I went inside. I robbed Mr. Sponsor, and a tussle broke out, ma'am. A tussle had broke out while we was in there. Mr. Sponsor tried to leave outside the apartment. I shot him in the back, and while he was exiting, and my co-defendant shot him in the head during the robbery.
Right. That matches up with what the police report says. I guess my question is, were y'all under the impression that he had like $4,000 or $5,000 in the house? What was the motivation for picking him to rob?
Well, we came in there to get some marijuana, man. We came in there for marijuana to get marijuana.
Y'all were there to purchase marijuana from him.
Yeah, and it turned into a robbery. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. I don't know. It was something that's what I wasn't clear on the motivation for the crime. Okay. So you've taken victim awareness?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you had your last two write-ups was in 2017 and 2020. Do you plan on working towards your high school diploma? Is that something you plan on doing? Your high school diploma? Do you have any children?
Yes, ma'am.
How many children
No,
do you have?
I don't have any children, ma'am.
Okay, I didn't see it in the record. Okay. You didn't have any children. Well, that's all I got. Let me see what the warden's got to say.
Yes, ma'am. You know, you were speaking of his last write-up in 20, that knocked him back down to a max custody. He's since been able to move himself back to his Class A trustee, working at the incinerator, regained his Min A in September of 21, and from that time forward hasn't looked back. So doing what he's supposed to be doing.
All right. Thank you, Warden. I appreciate that.
Right. All right. We'll hear from Mr. Andrew Hunley now.
Andrew Hunley with Louisiana Parole Project today, here to commit to the board that if Clifford is granted parole, he will join our residential reentry program, where he will have access to our reentry programming, where we will work to equip him with the skills he needs to reintegrate into society after doing such a long prison sentence. We'll work with him on technological skills, social skills, working to understand social norms, as well as getting him employed, getting him transportation to employment, doctor's appointments, visits to his parole officer, and working with him so he can achieve self-sufficiency. We commit to provide housing for him until a point he and his wife can have a safe and approved residence together. Our organization is impressed with the work he's done over the last several years to get himself back to where he's at in prison today. And we feel based on his age and maturity, he's at the sweet spot where he can come home, have a career, and make an impact in his community. Thank you.
All right, thank you. We'll hear from Ms. Chiquita Owens. You're on mute. You're on mute.
Can you hear me now?
Yes,
And
ma'am.
Okay, yeah, I wrote down a few things. I'm kind of nervous, but anyway, my name is Chiquita Owens, and I live in Stockton, California, and Clifford is my husband. And I currently work in the healthcare industry. I grew up knowing Mr. Owens during his childhood when he lived in California. At the time, we resided next door to each other. Over the years, we were childhood friends. Over the past several years, I had an opportunity to visit with Mr. Owens and see his remarkable change. During our interactions, we engaged in conversations about different facets of my family and his accomplishments. The classes he currently participating in are completed, and his faith. Mr. Owens has taken a course called Inside Out Dad, which is a parenting class which provides a framework and practical application and development of self-awareness, handling his emotions and spirituality, and most of all, parenting. And I'm gratefully appreciated that Clifford had took this class as it offered him, that was offered to him by the DOC, and it has given him the tools necessary to build a relationship with my family and my grandchildren. Since Mr. Owens' time of incarceration, he has undergone an incredible change. Clifford was very troubled as a child, but watching his growth has been remarkable, has been a remarkable transition. He has been able to conquer his anger problems, which led to his incarceration. Meanwhile, build a productive work routine, allowing him to find meaning. With experienced welding, he has obtained a trade that he can utilize if given a second chance to re-entry to society. I admire Mr. Owens' growth, his faith, and his ability to reform, and his deep understanding of the impact of his offense. Moreover, Mr. Owens will be assisted by upon his release by myself and my family, who will provide financial support, encouragement, and other assistance necessary to ensure successful transition back into society. In closing, I humbly ask that you allow Clifford Owens to serve the remainder of his sentence in the community where he can work and be a part of a family.
all right,
Respectfully, thank you.
thank you, thank you. We'll hear from Mr. John Sponsel now.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. It's a big step that I'm willing to take. I'm willing to give Mr. Owens a chance with life. If he can learn from what he done, like I had to learn. I'm not gonna hate myself for the decision, but it's an opportunity. If he could show me remorse in some way that he could help a person like me, maybe that will give him his freedom. On this day, I'm willing to let go. Mr. Owens, if you can hear me, understand it takes a real man to make a decision in life. With my choice, I want you to show me that you can become a better man. Prove to yourself more than to me that you've learned from your decision or your mistakes. I have. I know you don't hear this every day, but if you guys understand like I understand, I'm willing to give them a chance.
All right, sir. Thank you so much. It takes a lot. That takes a lot. God bless you. That takes a lot. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Clifford, would you like to make a statement on your behalf?
Yeah, I apologize to Mr. Sponsor for what I done to him and everybody I impacted by my actions. And I realized I took him through a lot. I caused him to have post-traumatic stress disorder. I caused them not to mingle with other people because of my actions. I was dead wrong. And I apologize. And if y'all give me a second chance at life, I'm gonna work. I'm gonna take care of my family, my wife. I love her. I'm gonna do the right thing by her. I ain't gonna do the same thing to put me in the situation that I'm in now. I'm a bigger person. This place has changed me a lot. I learned my lesson. I ain't gonna hurt nobody else's family members.
All right, thank you. All right, Clifford, thank you so much. Patrick, you want to make a brief statement, wrap it up?
Yes, sir, Mr. Kelty. Thank you, honorable members of the committee. Certainly, Mr. Owens is his own best advocate. I would be remiss not to note that that Mr. Owens is deeply remorseful and in our conversations understands the impact of his offense. And for the reasons that Mr. Owens stated, I respectfully request that this board, for the foregoing reasons, give him a favorable grant of parole to allow him to continue working on the outside as a tax-paying citizen and a member of a productive family. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Panel prepared to vote?
Yes, yes.
Wise?
And Mr. Owens, you've been given a gift today from your victim. A lot of guys don't get that. And I really want to commend him for his statements today, for his reflections and for that release. We can all feel it in the room. I'm inclined to take a chance on you as well, Mr. Owens. My vote is to grant. You do have a low Tiger score. You have positive comments from the warden. And you have an excellent transition plan. Better than most anybody is. I would like for you to stay long-term with the Louisiana Parole Project. Take your time. 1 year after release, start doing community service 5 hours a month. And 1 year after release, enroll in couples counseling. And when couples counselors mean, I can't order your wife to go, but even if she doesn't go, you go. That's a whole new role being a spouse. There's a lot of stuff you don't know. And if the couples counsel, y'all figured it out, but stay in counseling to work on being a husband. That is my vote. Best wishes to you.
Mr. Roche?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First of all, I'd like to speak to the victim. As the victim's advocate, I do appreciate the statement that was just made by the victim. You don't see that very often. Matter of fact, it's very rare that a victim is willing to give his offender another chance, a second chance on life. And you should appreciate the statement, Mr. Owens, and you should remember it for the rest of your life. Based upon positive remarks from the warden, good programs, a good transition plan with the Louisiana Parole Project, and you have no disciplinary issue since your last hearing, my vote is to grant your release under the same conditions as Mrs. Wise.
I actually have 2 votes to grant your parole. I actually denied your parole. Last time you're here, we asked you not to have any disciplinary write-ups, from here to your next hearing. We asked you to do victim awareness. You did both of those. I'm terribly impressed as well with the work you've done. I'm just in awe of what the victim said. And again, want to thank him so much. That means a lot to us here. But you've done the work you need to do. And so my vote is to grant your parole today. You'll have community service 5 hours per month. You have a curfew from 10 p to 6 a. You'll continue to work on your GED. I think that's important. You need to work on your GED and get that. That'll be good for you. And then after you finish with the parole project, I guess you'll go to California with your wife. If she's in California right now, is that correct?
Yes,
So-
sir. She's in California.
Your plans are to go be with her, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sounds great. 3 votes to grant. Today your parole's been granted. Good luck to you.
All right. Thank you all.